One of the biggest myths in real estate is that every deal needs to go through a traditional bank. It doesn't. In fact, some of the best opportunities in certain market cycles come from deals that need a more flexible structure. That's where creative finance comes in. At its core, creative finance is simply solving the seller's problem through transparent terms. That's it. It's understanding what the seller actually needs and building a structure that works for both sides. And this becomes especially powerful when the market tightens, because when rates rise, buyers slow down and properties sit longer. Traditional financing starts breathing, but the seller's problem still exists. They still need certainty, timing, monthly income, tax planning, a smoother exit, or simply their full asking price. When you understand structure, you can create solutions. The first and most common example is seller financing. Instead of a bank funding the deal, the seller agrees to receive payments over time. This works extremely well when the seller owns the property free and clear, wants monthly income, doesn't need all the cash today, values tax efficiency, and wants a simple exit. In many markets, this could create a better outcome for both sides than forcing a bank into the middle. The second structure is a hybrid approach, called a seller carry second. This is where the traditional lender covers part of the deal, and the seller helps finance the remaining gap. This becomes especially useful when rates are elevated. The buyer wants lower cash in. The seller still wants their number, and both parties need flexibility. Sometimes the real opportunity isn't lowering the price. It's improving the capital stack. That's a much more advanced way to think about deal structure. The third structure is a lease option or lease purchase. This gives the buyer control today with the right to purchase later. This works well when the seller wants a stronger future price. The buyer needs time. The market is in transition, and both sides need flexibility before fully committing. The theme is always the same. Solve the problem through structure. That's what creative finance really is. And here's what makes this even more powerful. It becomes more valuable during specific market cycles, when the market is hot. Traditional lending can be easy, but when the market contracts and affordability tightens, creative structuring becomes one of the most valuable tools investors have. Because now the question changes. Instead of asking, can the bank approve this? You start asking, how can this be structured so everyone wins in this market? That's how experienced investors think. They understand timing, debt, seller motivation, capital stacks, payment flexibility, and long-term exits. And that's what allows them to create opportunities when other people only see dead deals. Now here's the important part. Creative financing should never be about using flashy terms or overcomplicating the deal. The real power comes from clarity and transparency. What does the seller truly want? Speed, monthly income, tax efficiency, a cleaner exit, or less negotiation friction? The answer points to the structure. So the real takeaway is this. Creative finance is not a gimmick. It's a toolbox for solving market friction ethically. And the people who win long-term are the ones who know when the market cycle makes that toolbox most valuable. That's exactly why Seminar Insider focuses on frameworks instead of buzzwords. Because once you understand the structure, you stop chasing hype and start seeing real opportunities hidden inside deals that don't fit the traditional mold. And in the next video, I'm going to break down how investors create predictable deal flow, so opportunities show up consistently in any market cycle. That's where real momentum starts.